Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gabriel and today we are doing another twin flame energy reading. This reading is meant to be timeless, so no matter when you find it, no matter where you're at on your journey, there is a message for you here. Today we are going to be pulling from the Self-Care Wisdom cards by Cheryl Richardson. Always good for a little self-care. And we're going to go ahead and dive in. All right, the first card is be a thoughtful steward for the money you already have. Being a thoughtful steward for the money you already have is a secret to creating more abundance. When you trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. Yeah, abundance is the card. And the back is what I just read. And I really like this because it's so true. Like your abundance is actually your abundance of God, not your abundance of money. And while we desire money, and a lot of us, you need money to survive in this world in order to buy the things you need to support yourself. But a lot of us fall into that idea of poverty consciousness of, oh my God, I don't have enough. Oh my God. And if you keep affirming that, that's what you experience. You want to affirm that you have enough. And this card is really saying that you have to have a relationship with your money. You know, this is saying like, when you are mindful of what you already have, and trust yourself to handle more, that's when more shows up. And that's partially true. It's like God trusting you with the money that he's given you. I've seen a lot of times, and I believe it was someone who shared one time that they had a dream that, they needed more money, and they had this dream where God was like, I've already given you basically this money, and you haven't spent that, and it's like God has already given you this amount of money. If God can't trust you with $5 because you haven't spent it, or you don't trust God to support you in that, then he's not going to give you more, right? And if you're sitting there thinking like, oh well, I have to save, I have to hang on to this money, I can't spend it, or I'm going to be poor, like that is poverty consciousness. And that doesn't mean to go out and exceed what you can afford. That doesn't mean like don't eat, or that doesn't mean don't spend all that you have. That just means that you have a relationship with your money where you come into a place of trust with money. You come into a place of trusting God with your money and trusting that you will always be supported. And again, you have to be responsible, but that's the relationship with your money of like trusting that money will be there for you, trusting that God will actually be there for you, being your banker, and will support you when he's calling you to support yourself. So if God is guiding you to do something for yourself, if God is guiding you to invest in a really nice crock pot or something like that, I don't know why food is coming up, maybe I'm hungry, but if God is guiding you to invest in like a crock pot, and you're like, no, I don't have the money to spend on that, God, like you're affirming like God, oh, God's not going to support me. But God is asking you to do that, and God is your banker, not your job. God gave you that job. God gave you all the opportunities you have to make money. And so if you're telling God, no, I don't have enough, God, like that is an affirmation of poverty, rather than saying, okay, God is asking me to do this, and I'm going to take that leap of faith to buy that crock pot. And the more that you listen to God and invest where God asks you to invest, the more God invests back into you. Maybe you get that raise at work. Maybe you find a new job that pays you even more because you invested in a crock pot. And it may not seem that one-to-one. It may seem like, well, how does that happen? Well, that's not your job to worry about how that comes together. God supports you. God is your banker. God understands what needs to happen in order for you to feel good and you to feel supported. And when you feel supported, maybe you have that crock pot. Maybe you can make chili while you're working all day, and you get home and you're like, I made chili and it feels good and I've supported myself, and you get there and you're like, oh, I feel so much better and I can do so much better at work because I feel so good. And your boss notices that you feel really good because you're not spending time after work making a bunch of food. You've like already kind of got it down, and then you get a raise because you've been able to contribute more at work. That's how God works. Is like the more you support yourself, the more you give to yourself and invest in yourself, the more you're able to give and the more then you're able to receive. So don't count that out. Don't cut yourself short because you think that, God is trying to lead you down a path of destruction. God is always leading you to expand and invest more. And sometimes he will ask you to invest first to know that he can trust you to continue to invest in yourself as you move forward, and you'll continue making the choice to invest in yourself and not suddenly stop the flow. You continue the flow of giving and receiving so that you can continue to give and continue to receive more. It's a constant flow, and you constantly grow and grow in that as you trust God and invest in yourself. All right. And the next card is action. Baby steps are still steps, and they are better than standing still. Yeah, like every step that you take on the twin flame journey, every step you take on your healing journey with God is progress and is a breakthrough. And you want to give yourself the credit for the steps that you've made. Maybe you're not with your twin flame yet, and that's okay. Maybe like you're doing your best, and maybe you've come a long way. Maybe you went from the depths of depression to healing that, to healing and feeling love and joy within yourself. That is amazing. Or maybe you literally went from like, oh, you just barely got out of depression, and maybe you can get out of bed 5 minutes earlier every day than you used to because you feel more drive and purpose. That's still a wonderful step. Don't discount your steps just because you aren't where you think you should be. You want to honor every step that you take. It is progress, and you want to honor yourself and honor the work that you're putting in to yourself. All right, and the next card is power. I'm not sure why it's like anti-good girl in the front here. The ability to suck it up is not a superpower. Oh, I understand. Saying no is your own power. Yeah, like claiming your power. Power is peace. And it is not being a yes person. That's why it's just like no, being a good girl or whatever. It's really like not being a people pleaser, not dishonoring yourself in order to meet the needs of someone else. You want to make sure that you have proper boundaries with yourself, to discipline yourself in order to take care of yourself, but also with others, to not overextend and not overgive to someone where you're not being called to give. Even though we just talked about giving and receiving, you want to give where God is guiding you to give. You don't want to give where God is not calling. It's kind of like that pearls before swine story in the Bible of, if you give pearls to swine, they're just going to trample over it. And the same too is if you're trying to give to somebody who isn't going to appreciate what you're giving them, if you're giving to someone who is just going to continue to take from you rather to have a reciprocal relationship, it's unsustainable. It's really just draining you and robbing you both, because they're not actually getting anything that they're taking, and you're feeling drained because you feel taken from. You want to give where God is guiding you. You want to say no. You want to be to things that are trying to take from you, and you want to be discerning with your energy, just having boundaries and choosing to have healthy relationships, and only help and support others where you're being called to. All right, and the next card is passion. I like this card. This is cool. Light up your life by honoring your deepest desires. Being with your twin flame is one of our deepest desires, right? But it's also honoring the desires for your life purpose, because that's something that is going to really attract your twin flame. Your twin flame loves it when you're doing your life purpose, because that's their purpose for being in your life. It's not just so they can be your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. That's not the primary goal for your twin flame. That's not the primary reason for you to have a relationship. The primary reason for you to have your twin flame is A, for them to help you with your ascension journey and showing you your blocks and what to heal, and then B, to help you live your life purpose. You have a shared purpose together, and if you're not living that purpose together, there really is no reason for you to be together. And so you don't want to just focus on the lovey-dovey, kissy-kissy stuff. Like, while that's fun, the romance is great, that is not primary. And if you try to make that the only thing, your twin flame is not going to stick around for very long, because that's not what they really crave by being with you, and that's not what you really crave by being with them. You really want to have your shared purpose so that you can continue going deeper into love in that shared purpose. So don't be afraid to embrace your passions. All right, and the bottom of the deck is breathe. The calmer you are, the more time slows down, and the easier it is to get everything done. Yeah, we live in a world that seems like it's going very, very quickly. It seems like yesterday it was like January 1st, and now here we are in October, almost November again, right? And you want to take the time to be in your peace. And to some people, peace feels boring, but peace is where you can achieve everything. It's not excitement that you want. It's not high energy that you really want. It's really that peace and that flow with God. Because even with your twin flame, people describe like feeling excited and anxious and, I just love them and I feel obsessed. That energy is not what you want in your twin flame union. That's actually an upset. That's fear. That's you like trying to get something. And usually it's like you're excited because you think that your love is coming to you when you see your twin flame. And that's you putting your love outside of you. That's you saying like, oh, my love is with my twin flame. My joy is with my twin flame. My happiness is with my twin flame. And I feel so bad because it's not true. And they can't be that for you. Your twin flame can't be your source for anything. They are just there to reflect your love and be with you. And while that is an amazing thing, you go deeper and deeper into true harmonious love with your twin flame. They are not the source of that love. That love is already within you, within your relationship with God, and you find your relationship with God by being at peace. That's why yogis meditate. That's why coming into peace in the mirror exercise is the goal. Like, you heal through a block, you love yourself until you feel complete, and then you bring yourself home and you feel peace and relief. The reason why that's the goal is because that's where you live. That is your center. That is how you were created. That is the peace of God. And that's where you want to be. And that's where your twin flame lives. That's where your union lives. You don't live in this high anxiety. You live in the peace, because that is powerful and that is your foundation. So you want to cultivate more and more peace in your life. And you can do that through the mirror exercise, and you can do that through a meditation practice too. I recommend doing both because they both serve different purposes. It's like learning to quiet your mind, learning to connect with yourself, and then learning to connect with yourself by healing as well. So find your peace, find your center, and then you'll be able to get so much more done by moving from that place of peace rather than anger or upset or anxiety. All of that just kind of takes from you rather than giving you the energy that you need to move forward. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. If you'd like your own personalized reading, or if you'd like support one-on-one to heal your blocks to union, you can find my services at sacredtwinflameunion.com, and I will see you all in the next video.